Hi, I'm Mr. C, the teacher, and this is my classroom. So grab your tools for school and join in with us, or sit back and just watch, and let's go on a learning journey together, because you're watching Lessons from the Classroom. Well, let's take a look at what the topic for today's episode is going to be about. This week, we're going to talk about birds. So what is a bird? Well, a bird is an animal that has feathers. Birds have feathers. It's warm-blooded, hatches from an egg, has a backbone and a beak, 2 legs and 2 wings. Now, they don't all make nests up in trees. Some will make nests in holes, some will make nests on the ground, some will make nests even in cactuses that they've hollowed out. And not all birds can fly with those wings, but most can.
Birds. 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 This is the toucan, distinguished by its oversized beak. Toucans are among the noisiest birds in the world. They sing songs like frogs croaking, but some will bark, growl, or make braying sounds. There are over 40 species of toucans. They're not very graceful flyers, probably because of their oversized beaks. They live in the rainforest and nest in tree hollows. They are very social birds. Also, like, is this one eating Fruit Loops? You know, I'd buy a toucan, but I can't afford the bill. Hey, how does the cereal bird Toucan Sam wear a belt? He puts it through his loops. Hey, how do you set up a telephone line in the jungle? Yeah, you put some string together with toucans.
This is a western meadowlark.
Sure it is.
Beautiful. You know, I love being surrounded by great books, because one of my favorite things to do is to read stories. So, let's make some time right now and read a storybook. This is story time. Chickadee, Criminal Mastermind. Written by Monica Silvey and illustrated by Alina Ellis, and read by Mr. C, the teacher. The forest has a criminal, a real rapscallion, an all-around bad seed.
Me.
And no one knows who I am because I wear a mask.
Chickadee-dee-dee-dee.
I know what you're thinking. How can you have fallen into a life of crime, Chickadee?
This is my story.
I grew up in a little hollow at the top of an alder tree with loving parents who fed me bugs. Here. And yes, I was a cute baby. Aww. My parents warned me never to leave the safety of the forest. And don't you go anywhere near those houses. I was a good nestling who always listened to their advice. Food, friend, danger, no. Brick! breakfast is the most important meal of the day. After a long and happy childhood, I finally left the nest on my 16th day. Call me.
Whee!
That summer and fall, I was free as a bird, learning to catch bugs and hanging around the forest. And then came winter. A shocking thing happened. Cold flakes fell from the sky. A lot of them. It became way harder to find food in the forest. Brrr. One snowy morning, on my rounds, I spotted something strange near one of the houses.
Wait, wasn't there something I was supposed to remember about houses?
Anyway, I checked it out. It was a vault of gold, and I stole from it. I know what you'll ask me next. How do you do it, chickadee? How does a criminal mastermind like you steal gold from a vault? Let me demonstrate. First, I scout the area, checking out my target from every angle. Then I swoop in for the prize and make my escape. One more successful snatch. I am the king of thieves. I have many secret hiding places in the forest where I keep my stolen treasures. Hundreds, really. But don't worry, I can remember every one. Between these twigs, here in a crack, here in a woodpecker's hole, under this leaf, under this branch, nothing to see here, in my secret lair, in this crevice, in a hole, under the bark, here. You might think that life as a masked villain is exciting, glamorous even. Look out, little bird, hawk on the wing, chickadee-dee-dee-dee, mama. Humph, foiled again. Thank you, mysterious stranger. But really, it's just lonely. I know what you're wondering. How do you get away with it? How do you avoid justice, chickadee? Let me show you again, this time in slow motion. I fly up to the vault and... Look! A chickadee! Oh, he's so cute! Ah! I've been spotted!
Wait, cute?
I'm not cute. I'm a rapscallion, an all-around bad seed. Yay! A bird finally found the feeder.
Feeder? What's a feeder?
I consult my underwing dictionary.
Oh, that means I am not...
Feeder. Feeder. A device used by humans to feed wild birds. Well, there's only one thing to do.
Free food! Chickadee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
And so it turns out, I am not a criminal after all. I'm not a rapscallion. I'm not even a bad seed.
I'm just a little bird being a bird.
But maybe I'll finally make a friend.
Hi, I'm Chickadee, and I'm a good egg.
Hello, I'm Dee Dee, and I'm a spy. This is a Canada goose.
Oh, seems pretty small. Worksheet lessons.
So here we have a worksheet for our animals theme unit, and this is going to be for birds in particular. It says homes for desert birds. And we're going to be doing some cutting and gluing, matching these shapes down here to the shapes that are up here, so we can match the correct bird to the type of cactus that it likes to live in. In fact, up here we're going to have the Gila woodpecker, and here we're going to have an elf owl, and they're going to be sitting in the saguaro cactus. That's where they like to make their home. And over here we've got a cholla cactus, and we're going to have the mourning dove and the cactus wren making their nest or sitting in that type of cactus. So we're going to need our glue, and we're going to need our scissors, and later we're going to also need to color in our pictures as well. Let's start by cutting straight across the bottom. Now that I've got the bottom part cut out, I can cut out these shapes. Here we go, I've got my 4 pictures of birds cut out. Now I need to take my glue stick. I'm going to turn my glue up just a little bit. I'll leave it down like that. And the best way to be able to put glue on small things is to rub the glue across the top. The picture gets rubbed across the top of the glue, and then we figure out where it's going to go. This is an oval shape. That oval shape's going to go right there. That's the cactus wren. I can see the picture of the cactus matching up with the cactus as well. This rectangle here is going to be for the mourning dove. And again, I can see how the cactus matches up. Now I've got a long size rectangle. That's going to fit up here for the Gila or Gila woodpecker. We learned about a Gila monster, which was a lizard not too long ago.
Oh, a Gila monster. Where's a Gila?
Yeah, and last shape, the circle. This circle is going to go right here on our saguaro cactus, and it's an elf owl. These are very tiny little owls, and yes, they'll actually burrow right into the cactus and make their home there. Alright, so my cutting's done, my gluing is done. I just need to add some color. I've got some colors for my green cactuses, colors for these desert birds to add some color with. How about the snap of our finger? And there we go. There's our finished version all colored in of the cactus wren, the mourning dove that live in the cholla cactus, the Gila woodpecker or Gila woodpecker, and the elf owl that live in the saguaro cactus. Don't forget your name at the top. And here we have a snowy owl.
Oh, he does realize that's a stuffy, right? Field trip, field trip.
Alright, we're here on our field trip at the Northwest Pacific Raptor Center here in Cowichan Valley, and I'm with Chelsea and Spock. Hey Chelsea, tell us a little bit about Spock, obviously an owl, but...
Yeah, so Spock here is a great horned owl, so he's one of the larger species of owl that you would find here in the Cowichan Valley. Fun fact about him, these little tufts on the top of his head, they are not ears, they are not horns. They are feather tufts called plumicorns, and they're used for camouflage and communication with other owl species.
Oh, he sounds like he's saying yeah.
And what is Spock going to eat? What's his favorite?
Spock's favorite food would be rodents like rats and small mice, as well as rabbits if he can get his hands on them. They're pretty opportunistic, but they are a nocturnal species, so we don't see them up during the day very much.
Oh, okay. And he's fed all of that by you guys here at the center?
He is. Most of our food is donated, so we might get mice and rats on donation, but otherwise we're feeding quail, chicken, rabbit, squirrel. Depends what we've got in the fridge.
Great. And now, why is Spock here? Because this is his permanent home, right? He's not being rehabilitated to be let back off into the wild.
Correct. Yeah. So he was hatched and raised with us here as an ambassador for other wild owls. So he travels around and flies in our flying demonstrations to help teach people about why owls are so important.
Oh, neat. He's making a lot of noises right now. What's he trying to tell us? Do you know?
He's just begging for food. Yes.
Well, I just thought he was saying yeah and agreeing with you.
The mice you have in your pocket, please give them to me.
You got mice in your pocket ready for him to have? Yeah, and that's what you want, right, Spot?
Yes.
That's awesome. Now, we all have heard that owls can turn their heads quite a ways around. Mm-hmm. That's something that's true, eh?
It is true. They can't turn their heads all the way around, though. But so they do have extra vertebrae in their neck. We as humans have 7 vertebrae in our neck. Owls have 14.
Twice as many. Wow.
Twice as many, and that allows them to rotate their head 270 degrees around.
Wow.
Yeah. That's actually to make up for a lack of movement in their eyes. Their eyes are fixed in their skull, so he can't roll his eyes or move them side to side.
Oh, neat. And I see you've got the protective glove because those are quite the set of talons on there.
Very large talons. This is what makes him a raptor, are those talons and him catching and killing things with your feet. The owls are very grippy as well. They have quite the grip strength, so definitely got my glove on for protection too.
Wow. Amazing. So we have another guest with us here, and this is Kessie, the kestrel.
Yeah.
She's quite a tiny little bird.
She is very small, but do not let her size fool you. She is a little assassin. So, being an American kestrel is one of the smallest species of falcon on the planet. She's the smallest falcon in North America. So her size does often tend to fool people, thinking that she's very cute and cuddly, but she is definitely not.
Yeah, she's definitely like a mini-me version of what I think of as a falcon.
Yeah, absolutely. So she has all the same adaptations that falcons have. She's got these mallard stripes on her face that act as like a sunshade, almost like a built-in pair of sunglasses, helping reflect the sun out of her eyes. She has a special notch in her beak that helps her dispatch or kill her prey all by herself, so that she doesn't have to wrestle with it on the ground.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Wow. So she'll actually kill the prey right in the air.
She might do it on the ground.
Oh, okay.
If she were to grab it out of the air with her feet, that would be how she would be killing something small. Otherwise, if it was something about similar size as her, like a robin or Canadian jay, that toenail tooth just fits perfectly between the vertebrae of her prey, and then all she has to do is bite and twist.
Wow.
Dinner served.
Wow.
Very lightweight. They also have air sacs in the body to keep them light.
I've heard though that that is an issue when they are around roads and highways, because passing in a car or a big truck can create quite a bit of an air flow
Absolutely.
and cause problems.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we do see them on the side of the highway and things like that, waiting for the roadkill cafe, we like to call it.
The Roadkill Cafe. You kill it, we grill it.
Not the safest place for them to be eating, like you said. We have them struck by cars quite often, which is unfortunate. But we want to hopefully push them back out into grasslands where it's a little bit more safer for them. So if you ever see roadkill on the side of the road, it's great to push it off.
Okay. And she's an American kestrel?
Yes.
But is native to Vancouver Island?
Yes, so she was hatched and raised right here at our center.
Hatched and raised at the center?
Yes, she's 11 years old this year. I can tell you a funny story about her.
Sure, yeah.
So Kessie here, being an American kestrel, like I said, she would catch something as large as a robin. The owner of our facility here, her name is Robin. One day Robin was presenting in a flying demonstration and Kessie went and landed on her head and we went, look, she caught a robin!
She only bugs though.
Absolutely, bugs are some of her favorite prey items.
Really? Okay, so
things like butterflies, grasshoppers, dragonflies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I knew they were obviously the raptors being the meat eaters, the hunters, but I didn't think they would eat something that had something as small as bugs. I've just always pictured it as being mice and other rodents.
Yeah. When the mosquitoes get going around here, we often see her nipping at them right out of the air on her gloves.
We have another owl here. This is a little guy. What kind of owl is this?
This is Fonzie, and he's a western screech owl.
A western screech owl.
Yeah.
I can sort of see those feather bumps up there on his head, but not sticking up so much as our first owl.
Yeah, so he does have those little feather tufts called plumicorns. He just has them tucked down right now because he's not trying to communicate with you or camouflage into a tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Big little eyes with such big bright eyes.
Yes. Their eyes are so large, like I said with Spock, they're fixed in his skull, but they actually make up 70% of his skull and 5% of his body weight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Very significant. You know, one thing that we learned with owls is their feathers are designed a little bit different, so when they're flapping, they're silent. They're silent hunters because they hunt at nighttime.
Exactly, yeah. So the leading and trailing edges of his feathers, his flight feathers specifically, are serrated like a bread knife.
And you were feeding him some little treats there just a few moments
Yes,
ago.
he's
What's he
getting
munching
some
on?
small mice bits right
Ooh,
now.
mice bits, yum.
Oh, I like eating mice bits
You
too.
like that,
Yum.
Fonzie? And
These screech owls, they're cavity nesters, so they nest in like hollowed out trees, holes that woodpeckers would have created when they're looking for their food.
so they're not forming a nest in the sense of like what we think of as a robin's nest or an eagle's nest.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just using whatever's left over in the forest, basically.
Oh, neat. Fonzie's been quite quiet compared to the first bird.
Yeah, he's a little bit more laid back. He's just taking in all the scenery right now, whereas Spock was just begging for treats.
Right.
Yeah.
And you were saying he's called a screech owl?
Screech owl.
And is
yes.
that because he screeches or?
They actually don't screech. It's quite a misconception because of their name. Most of the other owls hoot, whereas the screech owls, they coo.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
I used to be able to do a really good owl imitation. I think it was it a barn owl, the one that goes, "Who cooks for me?" Or "Who cooks
That
for
would
you?"
be the barred owl. Yes.
Barred owl.
Yeah, the barn owl just sounds like a woman screaming.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
quite, when you hear it out in the wild, it catches you off guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
And that concludes our field trip.
This is an eagle.
Oh, yeah, but it's not the real thing. Oh, yeah, like I'm the real thing. More worksheet lessons.
Here we have a worksheet as part of our animals theme unit. And this part fits with birds. We're looking at a picture of an adult owl that we're going to need to label and also color in. Now, a baby owl would be an owlet. But this is an adult owl. And this one is a great horned owl. There are many different kinds of owls, though. This is a barn owl. And this is a snowy owl. This is a small elf owl. This is a great gray owl, but there's many different kinds of owls. So let's start with the labeling. When we look at a science picture, we want to label the parts of the picture. So here we have the line pointing to the eyes, and in dotted letters, I've given us the word eyes. Here on this part, we have the beak. Owls have a very sharp, curved beak. They are what we call raptors, which means they hunt for their food, often hunting for mice and little voles. But they're hunting birds like eagles and osprey and hawks are as well. Here we have a line pointing to this part of the bird. This part of our owl is the wing. Wing. Owls have very, very special wings because of their feathers. And that's what the next part points to. It's pointing to the feather body. The neat thing about an owl's feathers is that the hairs, if you want to call it that, on them are hollow. And it allows this bird, when it flaps its wings, to be absolutely silent. Makes it a great hunter because it can flap its wings and there's no noise. And way down here at the bottom, they're pointing to the owl's feet, which we actually call talons. Those claws are known as talons, and it needs sharp claws again to be able to capture the prey it's hunting and to tear it apart as it eats it. So now we have all the parts of our owl labeled: eyes, beak, wing, feathers, body, and talons. Let's add some color to this great horned owl, which is pretty much a brown colored owl. And we've got him sitting on a tree branch, so we'll color in the branch as well. And there's our finished owl. This is a red-winged blackbird.
Oh, this guy sure likes his toy birds.
All right, it's the time in our show when we have a segment I like to call Questionable Letters. And that's where a viewer writes in to ask us something. Let's see what today's letter is going to ask.
Questionable letters.
Yeah, all right, let's take a look at the letter there. That's great, thanks. Okay, let's see what our letter says. Dear Mr. C, what is your favorite, most popular bird that you've ever seen? And what is the rarest bird you've ever seen? Oh, that's a great two-part question.
Two-part
Well,
question.
according to Canadians, a recent survey says that the most popular bird in Canada is the little chickadee. You know, the one that goes chickadee-dee-dee-dee. Yeah, it's one of my favorites for sure. But the rarest bird I've ever seen? Let's see. I have seen an albino all-white robin. But I think the rarest bird I ever saw was an all-white albino hummingbird.
Oh yeah, okay, enough with the awing, kids.
And it was in my backyard, and I was lucky enough to catch it on film. Take a look. Hey, and thanks for the letter too. All right, well, it looks like I've got plenty of art supplies and tools on hand, so I guess it's time to do some quick art creations.
They do move in herds. They do.
Well, thanks for joining me, and I hope you learned something new and had fun doing the lessons. Join me next time on another episode of Lessons from the Classroom.
Oh, we thought we'd include a blooper reel here. Oh, there we go. What are you doing there, Spock?